The purpose of today's presentation is to describe the four basic functions of the GI tract. This presentation was prepared by Ryan Erkvix, Jared Scott, Jason Freeman, Jeff Flack, and Daryl Hawthorne. The four basic functions of the GI tract are motility, secretion, digestion, and absorption. Motility is done through peristalsis, which is rhythmic contracting of smooth muscle to propel food through the GI tract. The body also uses rhythmic segmentation. Rhythmic segmentation is contracting of the small and large intestines to mix food. Furthermore, tonic contractions are used at certain points in the GI tract, and it uses sphincters to prevent food from moving forward until the appropriate time. So food enters the mouth, and eventually it will leave through the anus as byproduct, waste. Food must be stripped of the nutrients that is necessary for the body to continue. This is done through secretion and digestion. Secretion and digestion runs hand in hand. We will focus on secretion at this point. It begins in the mouth. When food enters the mouth, salivary glands begin to produce their enzymes. First of all, amylase is produced, and it starts carbohydrate digestion. Lysosomes provide antiseptic functions, with lingual lipase starting lipid digestion. The mixture of these makes saliva. Saliva makes the bolus of food slippery, making it easier to be swallowed and slide down the back of the throat and esophagus. The bolus passes through the esophageal sphincter before it enters the stomach. Inside the stomach, more enzymes are secreted. To begin with, we find intrinsic factor, which is secreted by chief cells. This will aid in B12 absorption. There's also pepsinogen, which are secreted by parietal cells. And this forms pepsin that digest proteins. Hydrochloric acid is also secreted by parietal cells, and it aids in digestion by aiding in protein digestion and killing bacteria. Gastrin is released from G cells, which regulates parietal cell function. Finally, we have mucus that is released, and this protects the stomach lining from the harsh environment created by the hydrochloric acid. The liquefied bolus of food, now called chyme, then passes from the stomach through the pyloric sphincter and enters into the duodenum. This is the first section of the small intestine. It is here that enzymes released from the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder further break down chyme into elements that can be easily absorbed and used by the body. In the duodenum, we find secretin, which decreases gastric emptying and stimulates pancreatic enzymes. There's also cholecystokinin, which increases gallbladder release of bile. The pancreas, which is very important in digestion with what it secretes, is trypsinogen, which aids in protein breakdown, and pancreatic lipase, which increases lipid breakdown. There's also pancreatic amylase, which continues the carbohydrate breakdown. The small intestine releases lactase, which breaks down lactose, and sucrase, which breaks down sucrose, glucose, and fructose. Digestion is the process by which the gastrointestinal system retrieves important nutrients for the body and chemically changes the unused food into waste. Mastication, or the chewing of the food in the mouth, is the first step of digestion. The stomach also mixes food with the small intestine using the aforementioned rhythmic segmentation to further mix the food. Chyme can travel through the 20 feet of small intestine before it passes through the ileocecal valve to enter the large intestine. Very little digestion occurs in the large intestine. Undigested chyme that enters the large intestine is considered waste. The waste becomes more and more solid as it passes through the large intestine because water is continuously being reabsorbed from the waste. Waste collects in the rectum, or the end of the large intestine, until the brain signals for it to be expelled from the body. Finally, we come to absorption. All that has been done so far with motility, secretion, and digestion is so that the body can absorb what it needs from the food that we have taken in so that it continue its important work. Almost all of the 9 liters of secretions that we have mentioned get reabsorbed, plus 2 liters of extra fluid containing nutrients, which are electrolytes, including water, and vitamins, which mostly are absorbed in the small intestine. So, much like a car going down a real interstate, we need to make sure that we are providing our bodies the fuel that it needs to run smoothly. This concludes today's presentation on the 4 basic functions of the GI tract.